Hey YouTube, it's Alicia Burton, and I'm back. Excuse me for a minute, and I'm back to do my WWE Women Superstars of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT who deserve their big pushes. Who deserve big pushes? Now I'm gonna start with NXT because I only have two women, so let's get started. So the first woman I'm going to start with is Asuka. As y'all know, Asuka, since her debut, has made one of a huge impact. And because of her impact, I think now that big push needs to be pushed her to a main roster of Raw and SmackDown. Who do I believe she should go with? I don't know. I believe she would make Raw very interesting, but I think she make both shows very interesting. So it'd be kind of cool to see what show she will go to. Now, another one who needs that big push at the moment for NXT, for that NXT Women's Championship, is Ember Moon. Ember Moon has made an impact. Oh my God, she's an African American woman, and I love it. It's time to push her to that not main roster just yet, but give her that big push for that NXT Women's Championship, and you never know where she can go. Now, I'm gonna have to move around for this one, but I'm gonna start with SmackDown because they have 8 people. So let's get started. For SmackDown, we have Carmella. Now, with Carmella, I feel like one, she deserves that big push. I think she could be one of 2 big headliners for Raw. Excuse me, for SmackDown. But she needs to take her and James Ellsworth and depart them, because I don't think her and James Ellsworth would work if she tried to go for that big push. But that's just my opinion. But like I'm saying, if she did go for that, if they do give her that big push, James Ellsworth will have to leave that picture. Now another one, let me find her. That was Carmella. We have Becky Lynch. Now Becky Lynch, I also can see, she was the first, SmackDown Women's Champion. And as the first SmackDown Women's Champion, I feel like, oh my God, they gave her a little of a push, but now they have took it back. It's time for y'all to give her that push. And when I see Becky Lynch, I see something different. I see something different and unique. So she deserves that big push. Now, do I believe she deserves a big push over some other girls? Maybe so, but right now she deserves that big push. Now, second person is, as we know, Naomi is the women's champion. I feel she deserves that big push. She is the women's champion. She deserves a big push of doing movies for the WWE and doing blockbuster movies, getting her co-starring roles or leading roles. So I can see Naomi, if it comes to her doing movies, I can see her doing some movies, or make a guest starring appearances in Tyler Perry movies or Tyler Perry TV shows. So we never know. But like I'm saying, she deserves that huge push as well. That's Becky Lynch and Naomi. But here I'm coming down to Naomi's cousin-in-law who made her return, Tamina Snuka. Now, Tamina Snuka, I think she has been gone for about 2 years. And I'm going to say this. Excuse me, y'all. She deserves that big push. Tamina Snuka, she's huge. She's huge. She's huge. She's huge. She has that big push and she needs to be pushed. Do I feel like she needs to be pushed now? Yes. To get into that women's #1 contenders title belt on the opportunity? Yes. But I'm going to say this. It is going to be pretty interesting to see her as women's champion. She should have been champion years ago instead of her being a bodyguard. She should have been it years ago. So we'll see. what comes up. Now, another person I feel like from SmackDown deserves that big push whenever she makes her return is Nikki Bella. I know right now Nikki's like is doing her planning her wedding and everything to John Cena and getting all that straight. Now, people feels like certain divas make it. I'm gonna do a video about this, but about that there's one issue, but that's gonna come a later time. But I feel like when Nikki comes back, she deserves a huge push for that women's title belt because I think she can do what it means. I think she can do a lot more for being a women's champion. She is a former Divas champion. I think she could do it real good and stuff. Now let's get to now we're finna go reverse and do the Raw. So for the second one for Raw, we're gonna start with Dana Brooks. Dana Brooks deserves that huge, and I'm saying huge push. She should be in that title belt picture after Bayley and stuff. But I just like when I see like I said, Dana Brooks, I actually literally see, and y'all be shocked what I'm finna see. Finna say, I see, rest in peace to Joni Lawler, but I feel like Dana Brooks is another version, I think Dana Brooks is another version of, guess who? The one, the only, the late Joni Lawler. Do I feel she has the muscles? She has the muscles, she has skills. I feel like give her that big push, y'all. Please give her that big push. So the next person is Mickie James. And I'm going around. Is Mickie James. We haven't seen Mickie James in a while since that the Raw and SmackDown shakeup. So I really want to see more from her. But I feel like they need to push her. They need to give her that push. Sasha Banks, she was pushed lightly when she first got there, but it's time for them to give her that huge push. Excuse me, she needs that huge push. Huge, like I'm not gonna say she needs that huge push, and that's what I feel about her. Now, when it comes to Alicia Fox, what she's doing now is not nothing new that what any female have done. So I feel like she needs to leave dumbbell bar alone and get back onto her career and push, get her career back on track and get a huge push back in that women's title belt picture on Raw. Now, another person that deserves a push is Nia Jax. I've been saying Nia Jax would be a wrecking ball to be reckoned with. And I'm going to say Nia Jax needs that huge push. Picture it now. Nia Jax and Dana Brooks go versus each other. Come on, that's a feud is a feud in the making right there. Big pushes for these two young ladies right here. Now the next one, I don't know if a lot of people will agree with me on this, but I hope people do. Is Meryse. I know Meryse is none other than Miz's wife. I think she now needs. She's been back for almost a year now. Going to be, I don't know, is it going to be a year, when a couple of months or a year now? They need, so now Meryse needs to separate her personal life and her professional life away from her husband. And what I'm finna to say is they need to push her back into women's single competition. Don't forget, Meryse is a former Divas champion and a former Divas champion at that. And I think that push of pushing her back into that women's competition will be great. Cause I feel like right now, after Bayley, if Bayley don't win that title belt, I think Meryse should be pushed to go up against Alex Bliss. And I think that would be one great feud feud for the women's title belt. And you never know. We'll never know, but they need to push Meryse away from her husband and get her back into singles competition. Now these two young ladies I'm fin to mention I want to mention JoJo. Now, as y'all know, JoJo did start off on Total Divas, and during that time, we got to see her wrestle a little bit, but I think it's time for them to push her away from being a ring announcer, and push her back into wrestling, and soon debut her persona, because I feel like JoJo can do a lot. I think JoJo deserves much more than what they are giving her, but she deserves that big push. Now, Renee Young. I like Renee. Renee Young was ring announcer backstage at Raw. She was backstage at Raw and on SmackDown. But now she's just on SmackDown. And as y'all know, it was rumored that she secretly got married to Dean Ambrose. Now, we'll talk about that situation in another video, but with her, somebody on that announce team will need to be placed. I think she will have I think she needs to be pushed to being on that commentary team, because I think it's something different she can do, and I just want to see her do much more than, now that new guy who's on the commentary team. I just feel like I'm finna say, it's a push. But y'all, like I'm finna say, these young ladies that I mentioned does deserve that big push. And the question is, the ladies I mentioned, out of all the ladies, who you believe deserve the push? Until then, I'm Alicia Burton. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.